And we're live! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us know how the audio is. We have been dealing with some more technical difficulties.
I think I'm upside down.
And apparently Jacob's bug has spread to Japan and has affected Guy's PC. Also,
I'm in Australia.
About maybe 7 seconds, maybe a full 7 seconds before we went live, Jacob's camera is now upside down. So, as always, as we like to do here on Saber Dice, please be sure to blame Jacob. All right, so here with a few words about our incredible, amazing sponsors is... Eeny, meeny, miny... Jacob!
Pile
on!
Oh, gee. Okay, so,
he disappeared.
I'd like to thank Elderwood. All kinds of cool Elderwood Academy, sorry. All kinds of cool wooden stuff, boxes for your dice. We got these cool mini ones that came to us are really awesome. Get your wood on with Elderwood Academy. Of course.
It's not their slogan.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It absolutely is now.
It's a Saber Dice slogan.
It is now.
Do they have
I'm going to email Quentin. I'm going to email
What's
Quentin.
their slogan? All the things in wood?
I don't know what their slogan is.
They don't have a slogan because we made it for them because we're the best people they could ever sponsor.
Immerse yourself in gaming. I think that's the one that I came up with, which was much better than Wood Up.
unMadeGaming.
No, let's get your wood on. Yours is
Would you roll me?
Would you roll me?
Would you roll me? That's the dice.
I'd roll me. I'd roll me.
Guys,
we also use Dungeon Painter Studio on here.
Let's focus. This is not the After Dark show.
We use Dungeon Painter Studio on here, but you may not see them tonight because of technical difficulties. Blame Japan. But we love Dungeon Painter Studio. We're not blaming Guy. We're blaming Japan.
Saber Dice, that is not an official stance for Saber Dice. Just for the record.
And of course, our tabletop, our virtual tabletop of choice, Fantasy Grounds. I think it's literally the only one out there you could possibly use. It's the only one we're using. Fantasy Grounds.
Damn sure. And by the way, I've had a lot of people ask about Fantasy Grounds. And just a little plug for them here. There is a subscription to Fantasy Grounds that you guys can get instead of having to just buy it all the way outright. So for $9.99 a month, your DM can pick up the ultimate license and everyone can play for free without having to pay anything extra. So $10 a month, you full access to Fantasy Grounds. And then of course you guys can pick up any additional modules or players handbooks or whatever, just like any other virtual tabletop. And of course they do run sales all the time on Steam. So they'll have their Steam winter sales, the Steam summer sales, and all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, so go sub. That's a weird thing to say. Go subscribe to Fantasy Grounds. Go subscribe to Fantasy Grounds. We love them. Before we get started, James Leslie, thank you for the donation. Sorry they nuked your game. I'm assuming you're talking about Japan. Again, not an official stance. Glad you made the broken ice sculptures. Here's a little something in hopes someone becomes a llama. So, Guy, I hope you can squeeze someone turning into a llama tonight. No pressure.
That was actually kind of easy.
Just a atomic.
We got a drew in the party. Bam, llama right now.
Guy Slanders, the floor is yours.
Save us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If only I had more than just the floor, like a decent internet. Anyway, we don't have that. And anyway, all right. So off we go. Right. So the last we had with our intrepid new heroes, as well as our two old hands, you were in the goblin trading port, just floating above the undersphere. And you were looking to pick up some supplies and things, if I recall. Now, one of you had just bought a map, a crayon map.
Yes, we did.
Designed specifically to lead you to all sorts of wonderful and exotic places. And yes, so that's where you find yourselves. You are in this trading port. If you recall, it was not very big, and it was sort of filled with people who meant to have a lot of very serious business going on. They were very focused. Is there anything that you want to do here before you leave to head on down to the Undersphere?
Yeah, I believe, Guy, that Lionel and Dante were running a little scheme to get all of their coins back for a bit of honey. So I just want to see if we were in fact successful with our ploy.
Yeah, to get back some of the map money. That's correct. All right, so
no.
you guys have done this tap dance before. So what I'm going to say is that you have advantage. Give me advantage on your persuasion or deception roll. It's one of the two.
Deception. I will take a.
Do I need to roll?
+7. Yeah. Can he roll to add advantage?
Yeah, well, it's up to you guys. Either one of you rolls with advantage, or you both roll, and we'll just take the highest number.
I got the +7. Would you wanna go for it?
I've got a +8 in intimidation.
No,
Intimidation won't work here.
Okay.
You get the sense that if you try and get violent, there are 20 other individuals who are
That's
just
right.
waiting to get violent.
All right, here
Yeah,
we go.
I'll just give him advantage then.
Okay, so there's the first one. That's a 22. The second one, so 22.
22. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And yep, you certainly managed to convince him. He looks from the map. He's like, "Are you sure that what does that do exactly?"
Oh, bruv, it cures cataracts. It makes you sleep like a baby. It will keep you warm on the cold nights. It is fantastic. It is the most rare honey you have ever seen.
So I know that sounds great. That sounds amazing, and I'd be interested in that. But tell me, do you
I step between the two of them and I go look down. I've done this a million times. I look down towards
the little goblin,
Lionel, and I get between them and I look down and I say, "No," and I'm saying it kind of loud. "Don't give him the honey. It's rare. We need it."
That's the advantage.
I understand it's rare, but you don't happen to have anything that could maybe kill armor ship?
Does he know about the explosive properties?
Shh. We don't talk about the explosive properties.
Oh, dang it. I spilled the beans.
No, I don't want beans. Really do not want beans. There was a horrid accident that happened on Hightown. I don't know if you heard about it, but some nutter dropped about 40 tons of beans onto a tower and killed like everybody. It was terrible.
That sounds awful.
Horrid. Unless you have building supplies, in which case it was really good. So that's why they're currently looking for all the builders in and around Hightown. All right, now so the honey and 50% of the gold for the map.
I'll do the takeaway close, which is a sales technique. Not that I've ever used that before on people. So we're going to... Now, bro, you know what? Maybe that honey is not right for you. And I'm going to slowly begin to...
No. It sounds absolutely perfect for me. So how about 20% of the gold and then the honey?
Bro, this honey is the rarest honey you've ever tasted. It is worth far more than all of that gold, especially for this little map. Just take the gold. You can't afford the honey.
No, never mind. I'll take the honey instead of the gold. No, you persuaded me. I'll take the honey, absolutely.
Okay, Dante. A promise is a promise, and I'm gonna reach out.
No.
He kind of grabs the honey and he kind of tosses you the map.
I was a very good salesman, Mike.
It might not be to scale necessarily. I mean, it's a thing, but it's a good map, and this is great. Do you think llamas like this?
It will make their wool the thickest wool you have ever shaved off. It will make enough for 10 tents full.
I'm not entirely convinced that I'm particularly happy shaving my brother, but if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. If you ever come across a cure for llama ship, then you'd let me know, right?
Absolutely, bruv.
And if you need more maps, I can draw plenty of them. I've got a great... I travel a lot.
We will keep that in mind. And
I look at the map and I look down at him and I say, "Oh yeah, you're a really good drawer."
Yeah, I know. The elephant's even got 4 legs. He says as he sort of points out to the elephant.
I don't know what that means.
What are the rest of you doing while these two swindler professionals are going about their business?
I'm just going to try to sell all of these harpoons or whatever.
The V9000s? Yeah. They will take those V9000s. They think they're really, really, really useful. They will offer you, give or take, 45 gold per harpoon.
You said 45? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you could trade each one of those harpoons for a pot of honey.
No, thank you.
All right, so
you don't want the honey? It's magical.
Gwen's looking for armor or weapons or anything she can get her hand on, since she's currently wearing men's clothes that she found on the ship that belonged to some guy. I don't know.
Yeah. What type of armor are you looking for before you sell those harpoons?
I'm trying to remember what she wears. Is it plate?
Sure. There is a merchant who will sell you some plate. It's not in the greatest of conditions. It's okay, and it certainly will still give you the advantages of the plate. He will sell you that plate for all of the harpoons that you have. It's an exchange.
Will he also throw in some water?
Deal. How much water do you want?
As much as I can carry with me.
4 liters, 5 liters. That's like, I don't know the conversion to pints. Sorry.
Gavin yards.
What about you?
She
How about silver pieces?
looks around and finds the biggest jugs she can find for water, and is just like, these are like 2 big ones, and she'll just like, this will do.
Deal. Done. Yes.
For each. Okay.
Fluid yards.
And she'll take that with her and put the armor on. I'm assuming it's just like a chest and.
Yeah, and well, it's got greaves and vambraces and pauldrons and everything that you would hope that it would have. It is just a little bit rusted, and the one side of the breastplate on the right hand side has this rather curious pattern of circular holes that runs from about the hip all the way up to the shoulder. There's probably about 20 perfect holes in a semicircular shape, which have sort of been, you can see someone's tried to bang them flat because whatever it was went in on the outside through this armor. So that's sort of been hammered shut. The salesman sort of looks at you. It is for ventilation. You don't get hot in the solar sphere, yeah?
I'm aware that someone died in this, and you're now reselling it to me. Let's call it like it is. And she just takes her water and leaves.
Okay. They probably died. I don't know. I found it anyway. It's fine. All right. So that's what you guys. That's what you're doing. Draxus, what are you doing?
He's trying to get back on the ship and leave. No, he's. I think he just stands there because I think he was standing next to Lionel, and while this whole exchange was happening, or right before it happened, so he just watches it go down, much the same way as it happened on the ship, and he just mutters, "I don't know how he's doing it. No one else is. It has to be some kind of magic."
It's a charm spell of some kind. I like that. I like that. Vankus, what are you doing?
We're waiting to go down, right? To take down to the lower sphere.
Correct.
So I'm ready to go. I don't need anything. I'm curious why Gwen isn't going to use those harpoons. I was hoping she'd use them. Harpoons are badass, especially ones that are the size of a glaive.
You didn't sell all of them.
Vankus is just waiting to head down. He's eager.
Right. I need to buy shit.
All right.
We came down here to we're down here because we need to buy supplies, right? That's why we're here. Yeah. Okay. I really want one of those new axes, but I think we also need food. Is there food on the boat?
There are supplies on Sartun for basically sort of surviving there, and every now and again, Serac sort of replenishes those supplies along with Leslie and now Eowith. But not for surviving off of the whale.
So, Lionel, have you ever been down here before?
Bro, I've not been this far south or centered.
Down.
Down.
Would you call it down? Yeah.
I've not been this far down.
I know a lot of other orcs came down here, but I never did.
I'm going to kind of like hold up the map to him. I'm not even sure this was worth the honey.
Yeah, what is the map detail?
The map is an outline of a region of Ith, and it's a very colorful drawing in crayon. The main points that it seems to highlight is roughly looks like it's not so much of an elephant as a tortoise of some description, but it seems to have 5 legs. You're not entirely convinced what that means exactly. But on top of it is a thing called Olmsin. At least you think it's Olmsin. It sort of looks like an A, an L, an M.
Is that where we are, or is that where we need to go?
You're not sure. There are then 2 mines that have been listed with X's, and it says here mine more. There's a place called Buffalo, and then there's a giant skull and crossbones that says Va.
Well, I'm too dumb to figure this out.
So Draxus walks over to see the 2 of them fumbling with a map, right?
Just staring at it.
Yeah, he kind of stands between them and just peers over and says, "So, the honey is worthless, right?"
No.
No, bruv. It is the most rarest honey.
Because the islands, they move around. So the map is useless.
Oh, yeah. So they drew it.
They constantly shift and move.
Not a big loss.
Never thought about that. Yeah, the honey's worthless.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Then I kind of look over like Dante. Fuck it. He probably can figure it out.
So,
you're not selling it to him.
Net 0, then.
Yet, bruv. Yet. I've not sold it to him yet.
He doesn't know about the cranberry juice. And then I'm
going
to
don't even tell him about the cranberry juice.
He doesn't want to know about the cranberry juice. And I'm going to walk in and I'm going to follow. I in the distance, I remember seeing some weapon salesmen who had very spiky battle axes, and I'm going to check those out.
All right. So you guys can pick up any equipment that you want from the PHB. Just double the price because
double the price. But you said they're spiky.
They are spiky. Yes, they do have spikes attached, bolted, welded, affixed, glued, tied to them.
What in-game bonus would I get out of a spiky battle axe?
So at the moment, because none of you've been to the Undersphere, you don't know what benefit you have, apart from possibly eviscerating yourself with a badly swung attack. But you do suspect that there must be a purpose because they all have these spikes on them. And you notice that the swords, the axes, where the pommel would normally be, there's a specifically curved spike, quite a large, it almost looks like a velociraptor claw that is attached to most of the weapons and the shields themselves.
Do they have any spiky boomerangs?
Do they have any spiky boomerangs?
Yes.
Yes, they do. It's just called bent spike, though.
Yes. Okay. How much are they? I'm so happy right now. Please let me buy this. I don't know how much it is.
You can pick these up for like 5 silver each.
I buy 5 of them.
All right, you buy 5 bent spike boomerangs.
I run back to Lionel and Draxus, and I'm like, they have spiky boomerangs, and I run back to the ship.
I kind of like wince over at
and I go over to the ship, and the first thing he does, he's like, oh, and he like chucks it, and it probably just off the ship. I'm like, shit. And then I try to do it again, and then the second one flies back and lands next to me. He's like, oh, and he's just practicing throwing.
All right, you are practicing your boomeranging. These wonderful boomerangs of yours, just for mechanical reasons, have a 50% chance of returning. They are literally just bent spikes.
Great. Yes.
No.
Oh, this is awesome.
All right, so once you guys have finished shopping, I think you kind of finished looting this place. All right. You reboard Sartoon. Vankus is already there. And the captain looks at you rather nervously. You remember those orkies that we defeated in glorious combat, says to Surak as you board.
Yeah.
You don't think they have friends, yeah?
I mean, not anymore. They're dead.
Oh, yes. I remember. Was there not one other balloon that did not manage to find us?
Nah, it's all right. I'm sure there's a lot of skywells that come down here.
Yeah. That's not so much my question, he says, and he points over to one of the to the sort of this morass of not asteroids, but large chunks of islands slowly drifting around, and you can see very carefully drifting down this very robust orcish balloon, and the only people who potentially could possibly recognize it is Vankus and Draxus, because it looks like a very heavily armored balloon, like the first one. Well, it was one of the pair that attacked the skywell. You can see it's very slowly lowering down, and there's orcs hanging from all over the place with long poles busy trying to push chunks of rock, because balloons don't do so well down here. But they definitely seem to have the same war paint as the one that attacked you. They look very similar, yeah?
I don't want to be that guy, but they all look similar.
I don't have much experience with the orcs.
Yeah, no, I mostly avoid them.
Yeah.
At all costs.
Maybe Dante can go talk to them.
Oh, yeah, he seems to like orcs.
But Dante is not, one with the tribe.
What?
Do you want me to talk to orcs? Because I can talk to them. I'm just not one of them, really.
I can also speak with orcs if need be.
Wait, what do you mean? You look just like
they'd like you. You're mean.
You are not an orc? Says Sirac, looking at you, Dante.
Oh, I'm a half orc. My mommy was a human.
I am totally sniffing you. Sound like an orc.
Yeah, well, I'm not as big as them either, so Okay. Anyways,
it's not about the size.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I can talk to them and be like part of them and pull off that whole vigor of being, I'm a mean, I want to kill things and eat their intestines, and then also you chop them up your toes and put them in a stew if you want me to, but
Can we rewind for a moment? I'm just curious. I'm not used to these customs. Did you just call your maternal side your mommy?
Yes, she's a sweet little lady.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, maybe you don't talk to the orcs very much.
And she makes really good toast stew.
I'm not even gonna.
Akdimkasim, we are leaving, he says.
She also taught me how to sing.
Gwen walks over to Draxus and she just kind of reluctantly, but just puts her hand on his shoulder. I'm starting to understand your anger and frustration with them. I understand now.
It's most people. I'm not going to lie to you. This is usually a solo act, and there's a good reason for it.
They look very useful in combat and very worthy of fighting.
Do they?
He chucks a boomerang.
I hope so. I hope so.
I don't want to be...
Otherwise, I have my work cut out for me protecting you.
I don't want to be seen as, a cynic at all, but at a minimum, they look like shields.
It'd probably last a lot longer if you stopped killing them as well.
Vankus has got his back on his ground, sitting there chewing his toenails off.
Leslie is sitting next to him trying to do the same thing. She's not used to doing it that way. Usually there's people that do it for her. So yeah, you're busy doing that. You look over at Sirac. He's busy scratching the world's greatest builder's crack as he's standing on the deck looking at the skywall, slowly starting to navigate away. Yeah, quite a regular bunch of warriors you have on board this ship with you.
All right. Are we ready to go? Or are we going to do something else?
The skywall slowly starts to make her way down, and Vankus, there's an aroma that starts to just drift up every now and again as you slowly moving away from these large chunks, slowly moving out of that that very dangerous space. And the aroma is one of familiarity. You grew up down here in the Undersphere. And it's a very earthy, very stone-like scent that makes its way up to you from the various shattered islands down below you. Now, unlike the Solosphere and the Terrasphere, where there are large land masses capable of sustaining multiple cities and thousands of inhabitants, the Undersphere is absolutely fractured into little islands that are maybe 2, maybe 3 miles across in diameter, no more than that, and just hundreds of them slowly rotating. Now, what makes the entire space seem almost magical in a sense is that it's very dark down here, except for these brilliant bursts of purple and green magical disruptive forces which emanate out from the core, that central sphere around which the Undersphere rotates around. So every now and again, as these islands sort of separate, there's this brilliant burst of light which suddenly punctuates into the darkness. But as you are going down, it's getting darker and darker and darker and darker until by the time you have cleared now the orbiting islands. You probably think halfway between them and the Undersphere, you can start to make out more as a silhouette than anything else, the actual individual islands that make up the Undersphere. By the time you get to that point, the light is low light. It's almost a dusk kind of light. Just again, with those brilliant flares of color every now and again that burst through from the bottom. Sirac looks over at you, Vankus. Hey, you said you wanted to go to Ith, huh?
Yeah, that's where we're going. We've got to go see the what are they called? The guys we're looking for.
The Benders.
The Benders. No, not Benders.
People who sacrifice people to
binders.
to slavery.
Benders.
Benders is the derogatory term for them.
Well, can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Yeah, we need to get to the binders. Kind of skeptical about those guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you know this Undersphere quite well, yeah?
How well do I know the Undersphere?
You grew up on Ith, so you know Ith very well. That's about it, really.
I know Ith like the back of my hand.
Oh, good. So you would recognize your hand in amongst all of the other hands, he says, sort of pointing down at the thousands of little islands all busy floating around.
Yeah, as long as they all don't look like my hand.
I'm like trying to piece the map to what the
I'm peering down there. I cast dark vision on myself so I can see.
You can sort of see. Although dark vision's range is usually 60 feet, it does help you in this situation, even though it wouldn't normally reach these islands. It does give you a much clearer silhouette outline of the different islands and things. And slowly but surely you start to recognize some shapes like, hang on a moment, I think I know that one, I think I know this one. And eventually it's taken you probably about half an hour while Sartuna's still slowly descending that you recognize there's a certain shape. There's an island, or not an island, there is a hole in Ith which from above kind of looks like a baby skywall. and you eventually find that there's a brilliant flare of this sort of octane color, and you're like, that's it. And from down here, the mountain ranges on it, they're not huge mountain ranges, but the mountains sort of stand out quite prominently. The rest of you, if you do look down, it kind of looks like teeth of a beast sort of reaching upwards towards you. The reason being the geography down here is all very distorted. Mountain ranges, instead of going into nice sort of peaks, generally bend over to look more like jagged teeth and the spines of dead animals than anything else. Sirach then calls you aside, Vankus, and says, so I have a map. Will you show me where we must go now for these binders? Benders?
Binders.
Binders, yes.
Yeah, they work the magic and hold everything together, and they might be slavers.
Huh.
So you might not want to attack.
Not want to what? Sorry?
Oh man, everybody locked up.
To the love nest, and he opens up a chest, and you can see there's just stacks of parchment paper, and he kind of goes through it, and he pulls out these very old looking pieces of parchment, and they vaguely describe some landmarks that one can look for in the Undersphere. And he sort of goes through, he's like, this is it, I think. You want to go to Va? He says,
and so I'll look at it. How is the map marked? Are there symbols? Are there pictures? Is it written?
It's mainly symbols of different structures and things. And you haven't yet seen the Crown map, I don't think. Or did you see the Crown map?
I don't think I did. They were doing the bartering.
Yeah. You haven't seen the Crown map, but yeah, there's some symbols, two big ones, which indicate they look like tubes. You're not entirely sure what they mean, but written next to them in different colored inks. You don't read, so there's different sort of options written next to them, but it looks like numbers have been written next to them, sometimes in red, sometimes in blue, sometimes in green. Some have been crossed out and rewritten. And then almost in a line is this one, it looks like a tower called, well, you can't read it, but yeah.
All right, so Vankus leans over, pushes all of his hair out of his way, and starts scrutinizing the map and looking at everything, scratching his head.
I'll bring my map over and be like,
it's all wrong. It's all wrong. They don't really look like these tube things. These pictures are wrong. It doesn't look like anything like F at all.
You sure? He kind of looks at your Crown map. Your Crown map is actually remarkably good, except for the 5-legged turtle.
That looks about right. The 5-legged turtle. I think I've seen one of those before.
Really?
Everybody looks at you.
What if it's its tail?
That's what it must be. Yes, its tail. Yeah.
Wow.
So this shape here, that looks about right. I remember that when we were leaving, but everything else, I don't know. It doesn't look right. There's definitely no tubes down there.
Oh.
These are mines. This is Bossag and this is Gag mine. This is what we sell there and how much money we make in profit. So yeah, but these are not my maps. These are my grandfather's maps. Do not think I was the one selling slaves to those mines. No, definitely not me. No, definitely not. I was beans. I sold beans. That is what
beans kill people.
And so I hear. So I've seen. But
get away from beans, kids.
I didn't see any of this writing when I lived there. None of that was there.
I don't think you understand what a map is. This is not saying there's giant words on the ground. No?
Wait a minute. Is this like a picture book, like the ones that,
like the one that
Draxus are reading and Draxus
and Gwen read? Yes, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Vankus, do you know where we're going?
Yeah, we got to go to Ithis. I live there. I'm from there.
All right.
He says he wants to go to the binders. I think they stay in Va, which is here, and he points on the map. But they might be slavers, so we need to approach carefully, yeah?
I might have missed something, and I might have just forgot at the same time. But why are we going here again?
Because you landed on our ship, and that's where we're going.
We are going along.
She kind of narrows her eyes, not trusting him.
Dante.
We're going to put together the heart.
I don't know what that is.
These people are dragon slayers.
Just one.
We got to put the heart together. So Braxis.
Nope. Just it's okay.
Brax. Oh, no,
just
Brax.
Brax.
Yeah,
I'm
Brax.
Braxis. It's fine. There's a lot of X's.
Yeah,
Currently sporting
power couple.
It's like the early 2000s. I understand.
The Brax. We have to assemble Brax's heart so he can fall in love again. I think, and it's going to fix the world.
Yeah.
All right then.
What?
That's completely how I understood the story. And Draxus has a rod. He got a silver rod that he's going to stick into the heart.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is what you do. I will go Va. I will drop you off, and then I will go to the mines to make sure that our investments are doing very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you ask me where we're going if you already knew?
Huh?
Why'd you ask me where we're going if you already knew?
I did not know where exactly you wanted to go. I wanted to make sure that this map is still possibly accurate. It is very old, like I said.
I trust your judgment, Venkus. Take us to where we need to go. Even though I'm not really sure why.
I don't know. Maybe we should consult the donkey. Scratches is really good with this stuff.
I don't. It's like I'm along for the ride at this point.
Scratches is definitely my academic advisor.
That is the best way to live, my friend. And I'm gonna come up and give Draxus a big hug, like big shoulder side, like the side squeeze.
We're touching again.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Draxus? I thought you were the leader now that Barnabas is gone.
I thought so too, but then you slept with Lionel, and then everyone thought that Lionel was the leader, and then I don't know what's happening.
I am not in charge of anyone else.
Oh no, I know. Don't worry.
Does Draxus still have the map on him?
He never had the map.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
Oh, you gave it to me?
Gwen is standing behind Draxus, like that creepy X in the picture who just stands this far behind, just making sure he's not going to hurt Draxus. He's that creepy bodyguard who's just a little too close.
There is a personal space problem here.
Yet you're touching him. If you could...
Where I come from, we hold hands. It's not a big problem.
I lead into Lionel and I say, she gets jealous really easily.
Bro, I think she does.
We'll go with that if it helps you.
I don't know. Does it help you?
It helps him stay alive. That's all I care about. Him as a person, I could care less.
Slowly take my arm back. Gwen is probably the one person on this flying whale that Lionel's like, yep, not gonna mess with her at all. She has dead eyes.
She came back with armor too. Just saying.
If you could just bring us to Va. Just bring us to Va and then just flip the whale.
We'll see.
That works too.
We have seen that before. That was we have Arthur beans.
Yeah, if whoever survives, it's fine.
I'll survive. I've fallen thousands of feet and then I still wake up.
I hope I don't.
Hope you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
He gives you a look when you say that.
I've been working on this, by the way. What do you think of Draxus Presents? That name's Flying Circus.
Ooh, I like that.
Sounds good. What are you gonna have what are you gonna have Scratches do? I can't wait to see what his role will be.
Just talk.
Dante is a great knife thrower.
I'm a really good boomerang thrower too.
I saw him throw a boomerang, and I don't believe you at all.
What? I still have 4.
Bro, why would I lie to you?
Any number of reasons.
Is that what those bent pieces of metal are called?
Yeah, they're called boomerangs.
What if we just... I'm just going to pilot it. I can wing it.
Hey, Gwen, what happens if Draxus decides to kill himself? Do you then have to kill him because he killed himself? Or does your contract explode and, like, your brain breaks? Because I'm really curious.
He doesn't want to.
We could just go.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay, then.
Whale, and then...
He brought me back. Clearly he cares.
He's going to take off as quickly as possible.
Well, the body, at least.
They'll just fall, and that's fine.
My love, he brought you
ship.
back, but I heard he also killed you in the first place.
If they stay on the ship,
That was not
fine.
me.
If they don't stay on the ship, that's also fine. Let's just take off as fast as possible.
It's just this body.
Just make a hard left.
No, we got long ropes. We
I'll tie
can do
myself.
like Barnabas did. We can, swing down. Although we'll get closer to the ground.
I'm interested in learning more about this Barnabas.
Sirac just throws his hands up. I am not a killer. That was one time, he says, as he then sort of stomps off to the front of the skywell.
Just gravity.
If Venkus will regale Lionel in the tales of Barnabas and Valentine in Jinx, he will kind of like absorb those and begin working on a private song with Dante to spread their rumors and glories of dragon slaying.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's be honest, they
and
were
they're very favorable up until the point where Barnabas had the idea to attack the dragon. That's where it all falls apart, though.
Do you exclude that part of the story?
No, that's when he kind of turns on him, and Vankus turns on him in the story.
Revisionist history.
You are alerted by Sirac, who interrupts these story regalings. Sirac kind of gives you this look, Draxus, as he walks past you. This sort of look of he will not order the Skywell to roll over, and he resents the suggestion that he might be a murdering bastard like that. There's a bit of a dismissive look in his eye as he sort of wanders past you.
I'm not saying killed or anyone directly.
That is a very slippery slope. No, I'm not talking about it, he says as he continues to walk to the rest of the group. We have arrived, he says. There are ropes on the sides of the whale for you to descend safely and comfortably.
Okay.
Too bad we still don't have that balloon.
I know,
Sir,
right?
I did not catch your name. And she says to the pilot,
What? We have shared the hot tub together. You do not remember that? I remember that very fondly.
I'm sure it was very romantic. What was your name?
He sort of looks at Vankus desperately. I
feel like this isn't a hard question.
I am Captain Shrek. What you?
Yes. I have water for you as payment for my travel here. And she just puts the jugs of water down. And then gets off the ship with them.
He takes your jugs. You are giving me payment for being on your ship?
It's not that show.
Okay, I'm good.
He wanders off. He's like, it's gone crazy. Absolutely mad. I don't understand it. These are very nice jugs, by the way. He says as he goes off. All right, so does everybody else disembark down into this hellhole?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so when
I want to delve into the hellhole.
All right, looking over the side
take
of
those jugs and get deep out down the hole.
Draxus leaves and Mike stays behind to have a word with Guy.
All right, so as you look over the side of Sartoon, Perhaps the merrymaking seems to quieten down as you are looking over black rock that is fractured and shattered as if it had been thrown to the ground and forgotten by a petulant child. Great trees, but they have no leaves on them. They're just the skeletons of trees sort of stab up towards you. And really, the ground below does not look happy. You can see in the distance there is this particularly spiky tower that also stands quite contrary to the rest of the structure. What is a little bit disconcerting, though, is that this is the entire space below you is a small island within the smallish island of Ith. Imagine there is the island, and it has a hole in the middle of it where traditionally would be a lake or some such feature. This is actually just a hole that leads down below Ith to the void beneath, and then way down below that, you can see the binding spell. And this little island sort of floats in amongst this massive structure. It really is ideal if you want to study the binding spell whilst not necessarily being on the surface of the binding spell.
Interesting.
Okay.
We are here. The tower is not very friendly for skywells. And when you look at the tower, you realize it has these spines and spikes just everywhere. It looks more like a cactus than an actual tower itself. It's a short walk, yeah. Okay, you go now, and Draxus, you think about what you want to do, huh? Circus, great. Making Skywell roll over, not good.
What if it's a trick?
Why don't we just rope our way down?
Yeah, the ropes already have been lowered by Atnim Kasim for you guys.
How far down is it?
About 30 feet.
Oh, I'll hop off and start sliding. Like, come on, guys, let's go. And I go.
All right, you slide down, not difficult whatsoever.
On our way down, I would have quick shout out to Sean Coons for that $40 super chat. Mario
real
$5 and $69.99 from Jesse Fraser.
Oh shit! God damn!
That sounded like an infomercial, and just for $69.99,
Jesus.
You can have a
And
Jesse.
for $69.99, you can have some water jugs too.
Oh my God, the love tonight, guys. Thank you
Keep
so
the
much.
jugs flowing.
Wow.
Keep the jugs flowing.
No, David. No, David.
This is why I'm on this show.
Okay, David. More. Let's be honest.
Listen, I'm just saying, Draxus presents at Name's Flying Circus, and then we have the Scholastic Book Whale, and then you can sell whatever you'd like to sell as a sideline show.
Yes.
We have the girl who shots out of the cannon, and then we have the talking donkey. We have whatever those two idiots are.
Yeah.
Venkus can turn into stuff.
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Killing your business partners is not a good idea.
Partners is a strong word. Employees at best.
It is dangerous to be your partner. I have seen this with my own eyes.
That's why I don't have any.
So then what would I be?
An associate.
Oh. We talk when you get back, yes?
Perfect.
And he walks over and takes the rope and down it.
Oh, hi, Draxus. Wait, do you prefer?
As you're sliding down the rope, you hear coming from above, Aknim Kasim! We are partners now! No, associates! as you slide
when
down.
Draxus comes down and we're in Death Darkland, I look over at him and I say, do you prefer Mr. Draxus, or are you like Dr. Draxus, or do you just like Draxus?
I mean, Dr. Draxus is fine, but I prefer Professor or just Draxus.
Professor Draxus?
Yeah.
I will call you by your title that you have earned.
Formally, it's Professor Dr. Draxus, but just Professor or just Draxus is
Professor Dr. Draxus?
I don't want to overcomplicate it.
Oh, whatever you say, Professor Dr. Draxus.
seems a little
Perfect.
late for that.
Yeah. I should have just, I don't.
After
You
having... I'm sorry, go ahead. After having Draxus basically call Lionel out on his bullshit earlier, he's gonna. Yes, bruv. Professor Dr. Draxus, it is.
Mr. Professor Dr. Draxus.
I'm gonna kind of lean on it heavily to let him know it's very sarcastic.
We're overstating it here.
Vankus, as your feet touch the broken shale of the ground, it is a hard comfort, as one might experience, say, returning to prison, having grown up there all your life. The ground is unyielding, it is cold, and it is as broken as everything else is in this entire environment. But there is a certain familiarity to it.
As Vankus kind of touches down, he squats down and kind of like half closes his eyes and breathes in the air and almost like makes a claw-like shape with his hand and kind of just paws at the ground with it, dragging it across one time, remembering.
Absolutely. And the little shale pieces that have moved between your fingers, and you remember quite fondly that, yep, if you fall too hard on this ground, you're likely to come up with cuts because the stone itself has particularly sharp edges. Where you have come down, you are possibly half a mile or so from the massive spiked tower. And you can all give me perception checks, if you please.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was muted on stream. So what you're saying is that there's still like a bit to go down before we...
No. So you've landed on the actual little island that the tower is on, but you've got half a mile to walk. Captain Serac was just reluctant to get Sartoon to go so close to the spiked tower.
Also, one last thing is I would have taken 10 minutes to cast as a ritual Unseen Servant. So Gerard is up and running.
Gerard is up and running. Draxus, you don't see anything specifically. Vankus, you do. I'm not seeing anybody else's roles, but I'm going to just go with the 19.
I'm joining very slowly because I forgot I left it.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Try faster.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. That's not going to help.
That's also
There's another 3.
Everybody was
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
I got this. Shit.
Potato brain. No one thinks that.
Don't worry, guys. Perhaps Vegas has this.
Perhaps it's because it's so dark down here, but perhaps also it's because it's so quiet. You did not anticipate it being this silent. There is no foliage growing anywhere. There's no wildlife anywhere. It's just this absolute stillness. And occasionally this strange high-pitched whistling sound as you realize these curved mountains, which do look like teeth, split the air, causing it to shriek and whine as it gets cut by these massive teeth of the island.
But other than that, it's
incredibly quiet. Vankus, you look up as one used to do in your childhood. There was always dreams. You would look up, and occasionally you would see a small point of light opening up, because you're looking into the underside of the terrasphere, and then underneath, obviously, the solosphere. So you're always only just seeing the underside of these giant islands. So all of the greenery is completely foreign. And as you happen to be looking up, one of these lights, these beams of light, which usually cause more terror than anything else because they illuminate the area, allowing everything to see everything else. One of these beams opens up, and you can see quite distinctly this orcish balloon slowly on descent coming down towards you guys.
So one of the things, after Vankus kind of hunched down and pawed at the ground, he never completely stood up, and he's staying hunched in himself. And I lived here until Old Wolf found me. But look, more your friends.
You will see the orcish balloon slowly coming down. That light beam, which now completely encircles all of you, disappears. And as it does, your vision kind of goes completely dark until eventually your eyes readjust to this low light.
What are we going to do about that? Do you think they're here for us?
probably arrive in about 10 minutes.
Shit.
And to get to the tower is going to take you 5, just so that you know your time frame.
Let's all get to the tower.
Yeah. Orcs are the last of our problem down here.
Yeah, but they're still going to try and kill us and take our toes.
Bro,
So let's...
Yeah, but
it's not wise to take on 2 enemies.
Yeah, but if the Archosaurs don't eat them, the undead will, or the Withering will just turn them into shadow.
I just don't want them to drop the box on us.
Yeah, they are really good at that.
Oh, let's move to the left. We'll be fine.
Are we going to defend? Are they coming for us?
I mean, they're probably coming for us.
I don't know. We came here
to the tower. I'm going to run towards the tower.
Dante!
Let's go!
And then I guess I'll chase after Dante. Wherever Dante goes, Lionel's going to go.
Wait! Shit! I go back, and I took this down when I slid down, and I probably should have picked... Nope, I didn't. Anyways, I'm like, I really wish I had my bagpipes, but instead I only brought my horn. So I keep running.
So you're blasting that horn?
No, I just do a few toots, like toot toot, and then I can make it sound like a jazzy trumpet. So it's like.
For a second, Draxus looks up, and I think like only Gwen would see him. He takes like a half step to the left and positions himself just underneath the balloon. And then looks down and like meets eye contact with her, and then sighs and starts walking towards the tower.
Quickly, Mr. Doctor Professor.
We would just be face to face because she's not leaving without you. So when you look down and look back up, she's this close to your face, and she's like, "Coming."
Yeah, I'm on my way.
She just points
This
and
can't
pushes
be
him
any worse than
gently.
the last tower.
Another few seconds.
I'm tuning.
Venkers, you know that the sound that Dante is making is known as a suicide call. Any loud noise attracts the attention of everything pretty much down here that would want to consume, eat, or destroy a being. So
that's what we want.
Oh, so when he goes, knowing that, when he goes to bring the horn up to his mouth, I would smack it out of his hands or smack it down.
All right, so you're sort of moving next to him as you...
Yeah.
Oh, my horn.
And then I do the...
So there's a neat thing that's worth knowing is that the giant rocks, they're eaten by the Archosaurs. And the Archosaurs, they can't process all of it, so they shit out gemstones. They won't shit out? A half-orc.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, right.
But
The tower.
what if we leave them a little surprise here?
We have to come out of the tower.
Wait, can we shit? You want us to shit on the ground?
No. Dante, my friend, if they're going to be eaten, maybe we want to attract some attention.
Again, we have to come out of the tower. We're only visiting.
Yeah.
This is a stopover.
That's right. We will still have an advantage by being on top of the tower.
And you don't live long
Will we?
by gaining anything's attention.
Well, yeah, because we'll be firing down, and then we kill them all, and then we're fine.
I seem to remember coming out of rubble on top of a tower quite recently.
What, do you guys have bad experiences on towers?
Yeah, I
Yes.
dumped 40 tons of beans on them.
Okay, then.
To death.
Maybe being on top of a tower is not a good idea.
It could have went better. But for now, I think we should get to the tower.
Yeah, I think it's
Gwen lifts like side of her shirt to like show her ribs, and you just see little dots that are scars impaling her, and she still has like, it's kind of like Corpse Bride, like you still kind of see some of the scars and things. So she just kind of lifts up and is like, yes.
We were wondering for this season which of the 2 crews we were going to put on the t-shirt for the Kharos Stones, but now I'm thinking it definitely has to be the original crew with a hashtag it could have been better underneath of it, Dave, so thank you for that.
Bread or alive.
Bread or alive?
Bread or alive.
Dead or alive.
All right, so you're rushing towards... Have you decided now you're rushing towards the tower?
Yeah, we'll
Is
go
that-
first
is that-
tower. Yep. We'll tower it up. Tower defense.
You're tired of. Okay, so as you get closer and closer to this structure, you realize that there are large spines and spikes sticking out of the tower, and then there are smaller ones as well. The smaller ones seem to point downwards at about a 40-degree angle or so, specifically designed to prevent anyone from climbing up the sides of the tower. The larger spikes just kind of go out in all different directions, assumedly to prevent anything that's big enough to eat the tower from actually eating the tower itself. So you are probably 20 feet away from what looks to be the main doorway, which is actually a gatehouse that has a small bridge on the other side, which leads to the actual tower. But as you arrive 20 feet away from the gatehouse, this shimmering purple energy being suddenly appears in front of you with its arms sort of crossed over its chest. And it's a bald man, completely without clothing, but not a lot of detail has gone into the sculpting of this sort of figure, almost like a Ken doll, really. And definitely an illusion. It looks up at you as it does. Its eyes are just these solid glowing orbs of pure purple energy. It looks at you and it says, "State your purpose."
We need to defend. Yeah, we're gonna get attacked and we need to not be killed. Can we come in your house?
We're looking for the binders.
What makes you worthy of the binders?
I have 3 pieces of the heart of Brax.
Ooh. And the rod. Don't forget your silver rod. It's very impressive.
We killed a dragon.
Thank you, Vegas.
I didn't kill a dragon.
Lionel and Dante look at each other like, what the fuck have we done? Oh, honey?
He still
Gwen didn't
has
kill a
his
dragon
little
either.
satchel, and you can hear the clinking of jars. like inside.
Dante, Lionel, show him the honey.
Don't.
You know how it's 2% milk? What percent of that is actually honey?
2%.
2% of that jar is honey.
It's 100% authentic, real, full, the best, amazing honey ever. What are you talking about? It's organic.
It's real earthy.
It makes me get the honey. I still have the bee stings.
It's so
100% probably made by bees.
Vegan.
It's vegan in this case. There we are. I'm moving on that very quickly because I'll get shot for that. As you mentioned that you killed a dragon, the image seems to flicker. And then the doorways to this gatehouse open. By the time the doors open, you can see that the balloon has now landed roughly where you guys were. Sartoon, Captain Surak, and the rest of the entourage has taken off. Just a quick point of question. No one mentioned that they were taking Scratches with you guys. So Scratches is still on Sartoon. Just
with Leslie.
With Leslie. And yeah. All right. So you can see that Sartoon has taken off and is now trying to find a safe space to orbit this entire structure. The Orcish balloon has landed. They did not detach as perhaps they normally might have if they were coming in for attack. What you know from your limited exposure to them, Dante, is that if they did not detach, it means that they were probably trying to land so they can take off again. So this is not necessarily a stealing raid. There's something more to it than that. They have more intention, let's put it that way.
Okay, so I'll turn towards everybody. They're all talking to the thing, and then I pat. It's probably Drax. This is behind me. I'm like, hey, so normally they just kind of drop off. They're intending on leaving again. I don't think they're here to just murder kill us or steal our stuff. There might be more to it. I don't know what it is.
What are they dropping off?
What if they want to kill us and take our stuff and leave with it?
The ships normally come back and just pick them up. They're here to be here real quick and get out. So maybe if we just wait, they'll leave.
Good thing the Skywheel has all those harpoons.
They do still have a lot of harpoons, to be fair.
All right, then, fine.
I think we should go into the tower and wait it out. And if they come to attack us, then maybe we should negotiate. And then if that doesn't work, then we kill them.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, I turn and I walk into the gate. And is there a bridge?
The doors have opened. Yes, there is this large, well, not large, but there is a bridge. It's 40 foot across. The span, and the span is just oblivion down below. When you look down, you see these scintillating colors of the binding spell. It's almost mesmerizing. It's like an old-fashioned screensaver that people used to have, where you just start watching it and you're like, this is so relaxing. And then you see this little bubble burst and you're like, oh, I could watch this for days.
See, Jacob, there used to be these 3D pipes, and then they would build up, and then they would go left. It was in an operating system.
Oh yeah,
it's also a maze.
Late 90s.
Perpetually.
You might have been maybe 3 years old at this time.
Is that when the laptop would go to sleep?
It was about the same time we would buy faceplates for our phones and play Snake on them.
Oh,
I've never heard of this thing called a static IP address.
Yeah.
Solid throwback.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
You guys weren't there. You should have been there.
That same exact pipe thing. So I wasn't 5 years old. Anyways.
Okay, I'm sorry, 8. I'm sorry. I mean.
96 was a hard time.
Bankus is staring at that. Bankus is staring at that light show right now, and he might stay there for days if left.
He might very well, yes.
I have an idea. I need everybody to get across the bridge.
All right. It's not difficult to cross the bridge. There's no
I will go last.
As soon as he says that, Draxus looks to Lionel and says,
We'll let that happen.
I'll give Draxus the nod. Like, yeah, let Dante can handle himself.
All right.
I will turn. Dante's very serious right now for just no reason. Or there is a reason, but nobody knows. And he turns and he pulls out a bag of caltrops, and he's going to caltrop the bridge as he's kind of the last one going and back up towards the tower.
All right. Okay. That's fantastic.
There. Now they will step on pokey things. And then I go back to the tower.
How very un-orcish of you. All right. Yes. You caltropped the bridge. You've all kind of moved across. Again, large doors. These doors swing open the moment you arrive. You don't see anyone swinging them open. And you can all give me wisdom saving throws, if you please, as you
we can? Are you going to allow us?
I will allow you. Well, you see, the problem is I don't think you're going to make them. So that's why I'm saying you can make them. It's just you probably won't.
I forgot you guys could see my name.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's an 8, sir.
Okay.
Again,
so Gwen is fine.
What's the same? What am I fucking doing? Wisdom save?
Wisdom save.
Ghoul, I have a -1.
Samesy.
I forgot I did that a while ago, Mike.
I also have a -1.
Like I said, you can make rolls. You just won't make them successfully. So we got an 8.
What did you
a
do?
5, a 10, a 12. Okay. All right. So Gwen, you're the only one who does not get fooled by this. As you step through the doorway into this tower, everybody else sees this lush garden, beautifully laid out. There's water fountains. Draxus, you see a whole lot of dragonborn females busy lounging, showing off all their scales next to some of the sort of fountains. I'm not sure what they would show off, but that's what you're seeing. Vankus, you are
tails, my friend. Scales and tails.
Vankus, you are seeing. No, you passed it as well. Sorry, I didn't see that 16. +6, that's lovely. All right. So that's what Draxus is seeing. Dante, you are seeing an entire orchestral array of artists. And as you arrive, they all start applauding and clapping as you walk.
He's crying. He's like, oh, the theater where I belong.
Lionel.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Lionel, you step into the room and it is just honeycombs everywhere. And bees are busy going about their business. There are individuals in beekeepers' hats busy spooning liters and gallons, I suppose, of honey.
Something people don't realize about Lionel. He's actually quite terrified of being stung by bees. So this is if they're just all over the place while he's spooning this, he's like shrinking his shoulders up more and more, and he's trying to like whisper to himself, counting all the money he's gonna make with this. But he's like he's freaked out by bees.
Lovely.
Do we all see the bees?
No. So
okay, so we all see our own individual situation. Okay.
Yes, you all see your own individual kind of realities. However, Gwen, you see a happy Draxus who looks as if he's about 180 years old. He's got these gray beard things, these tendrils that Dragonborn get. He's surrounded by adoring fans. And standing next to you are individuals that you have experienced in your past. They all seem to be standing there looking at you with pride, as if you have accomplished your goal of keeping Draxus alive. So that's
she sees all of them?
Yeah. That's what you're seeing currently. How are you reacting to
that? And goes over and just tries to walk up to Draxus and just slaps him to get him out of this.
Ow! Why are you hitting me?
All right, no. So you know that's right. No, she does not hit you, Draxus. This is her personal reality that she is seeing. So she goes over and she slaps the old Draxus, the old near-death retired Professor Dr. Draxus.
Yes.
Whereas the two of you that actually succeeded, what am I saying? I'm sorry, GM and Gwen, I got confused.
That's why I was confused. Yes, why I wasn't aware. Sorry.
I'm looking here and I'm seeing Jim and I'm seeing Gwen. So
yeah, she was trying to wake him up to get him out of it. I thought
you're on the right page. I'm on the wrong page. I don't know what's going on. All right. So yes, Gwen, you are.
She kind of like smacks Draxus and is like, "Get over yourself." And
why are you?
Snap him out.
Why are you hitting me?
All right. Before you necessarily do that, Vankus and Gwen, who did pass their saving throws, I'm sorry for that. I apologize. The two of you are seeing your companions react in these kind of strange ways. Lionel looking terrified. Dante crying.
He's like crying, but he's like, and he's like singing.
He's singing, and of course Drax is looking at all of these beautiful things. The two of you see this circle of 8 black thrones, and seated upon those 8 black thrones, sitting very calmly and very quietly, are 8 bald people. They look like elves. Their sex is indeterminate because they've shaved their heads, but they're wearing these very dark robes. And the chamber is a circular chamber. They sit very, very still on these chairs. Their eyes almost, it looks like they're scanning. And you get a sense that the magic that they have imbibed this space with is currently reading the minds of your 3 companions. Just the 2 of you seem to be immune to it. So Gwen, if you want to slap Draxus, you can. It's up to you.
I think seeing these people all around, she probably doesn't.
They're all just sitting there. Their eyes are closed. Every now and again, there's a sort of magical flare around them. And then you see these, it looks like almost purple hands slowly reaching into the minds of Lionel or Draxus or Dante.
I will sniff the purple hands.
There is a certain rank smell of rotting meat as you do this.
So I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go over to Dante and try and push his head away from the hands.
All right,
get out of his brain. Get out of there.
The hands, as you're pushing them, there's the energy kind of gets disrupted a little bit, And Gwen, you see one of the seated elves, suddenly their eyes open up and they look directly at Vankus because he's obviously not being affected by this whole thing. And they're going to start standing up. You can see that they're getting ready to rise out of their chairs.
All of them or just this one?
Just the one.
I think Gwen would walk over to Vankus, pretending to be in a dream, and she'll take his hand like ballroom dancing and just like play along under her breath, and then just try to like pretend like they're in a dream.
But Leslie, she would not approve.
No. Listen, they know you're awake. She's like not moving her lips and just trying to talk to him.
I know, because I am awake. And I'm like kind of going along with the dancing.
So you're trying to...
like the...
I don't know if I can have 2 wives.
The moment you say that, the elf that was watching the two of you very suspiciously kind of relaxes and sits down again and watches you sort of do your little dance for a few seconds. And then his eyes close, or her eyes close once again as they continue to sort of dig into the minds of everybody.
I think when this thing closes their eyes, she puts her hand over Vankus's mouth when they stop dancing, and she takes his hand and puts it on the wrist of whoever's standing closest to the door, probably. She would have led him over there.
All right, so that is Lionel. Not Lionel, Dante, sorry.
And she'll put the hand on and just gesture pull, and she'll run over and she grabs Draxus's arm and starts pulling to leave and running towards the exit.
Dante yells, he's like, yes, I will of course sign your autograph.
But she looks to Vankus and goes, what do we do? As they're leaving.
I don't know. Aren't there orcs out there?
Yeah, but that guy looked really pissed that you weren't affected.
Are they binders?
He looked mad.
You're not sure exactly what binders look like. You've never really had much occasion to speak to them.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe we can talk to them. I can always turn into a bear in their faces.
If you want to. And she stands in between them and Draxus.
So we're kind of like in the process of running out, and I just kind of stop and plant my feet and just, hey! And I yell at them, stop messing with their minds. We came here to see the binders. We're on a very important quest.
As you shout that, all 3 of you are suddenly no longer, as you're signing that autograph. Draxus, I don't know necessarily what you're doing with these voluptuous dragonborn that have been enticing and inviting you over for a oiling of your scales. But Lionel, yes, there's a giant bee that sort of seems to be. It doesn't matter what you do; it's just constantly coming back. It's like you have nothing, but it will not leave you alone. It's got its idea that it wants to be near you. As that's about to happen, though, suddenly all of you are standing in this room with these 8 figures watching. And the 2 of you, Gwen and Vankus, you see that these figures, their eyes are sort of snapped open and they're looking across at you. One of them rises. So now you're all present in the same space. One of them rises and says, you can see us?
Yes. And your purple fiddly hands.
This is a symposium, not a whorehouse. Get away from me. I'm sorry, what?
Your brains. They were playing with your brains with their purple hands.
We were investigating.
I was in a den of debauchery.
Where
yes,
your
the
mind
gestures you were making
is
I
your
was trying
own.
to read. I thought I was in a symposium.
I was in the happiest place I've ever been.
It was a nightmare.
You are seeking the binders. You claim to have defeated dragons, yet we see very little evidence of this. Only that one, they say, pointing at Draxus, was involved in the destruction of dragons.
Yeah.
I know. I was definitely there.
He was there.
Technically, I was there.
We could not read your minds.
Well,
at Vankus and Gwen.
At a minimum.
Oh, I understand.
Someone has to be the leader here.
I know why you can't read my mind. And then I look a little ashamed and kind of start like kicking at the ground a little bit. I can't read. I never learned. Donkey was going to teach me, but we're working on it.
There is a burst of laughter from one of the 8 who immediately tries to shut herself up because she realizes she's broken protocol. And she's kind of shot this look by their obvious leader.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, she turns a slightly red shade as she realizes of her breach of protocol. The leader drifts towards you, taking very careful, very measured steps. You get a sense that these people are all about form and position more than anything else. And you cannot read. And so we cannot read your mind. And again, he looks over at the one who laughed. I have an alternative theory.
I don't give a fuck.
Really? Because it didn't work on Gwen either, who used to be Jinx, and Jinx couldn't read either, and you couldn't read her mind either. I'm pretty sure
the simple mind of the one before me could be a reason.
Your companions appear to be leaking as they sort of look around at these. It's obviously an after effect of mind control or the mind probing anyway.
No, Dante can continue with the theory. He'd be like, oh, the only reason I learned how to read was because of music. And I saw music. Lionel, what did you see? I know you know how to read.
I saw bees, bro.
The hand gets raised. It has nothing to do with your linguistic capabilities. Literacy is not a component in our mind.
I saw bees, bro.
Maybe you should practice more. We can't tell you why you can't read our minds. We got to end the stream here. This is it.
Can we take a moment?
I can't handle that.
I'm trying really hard to compose myself. I'm so sorry.
The best part was the moment he said, I know why you can't read my mind. I filled out the rest in my head, and it was still funny.
I'm trying really hard to compose myself, guys. I'm really sorry.
I was like, he's going to say, because I can't read. And then you did. And I was like, no. No.
All right.
God damn it. This is supposed to be all serious and shit. Okay.
No, go back to your amazing plot, guy, please.
Yeah. You know, the story you spent so long to write. Ouch.
I can't fucking read.
Can we get that on a shirt? Can we get Lionel's head with like eyes zoomed in? You see his eyes see something rough.
That actually does need to be a shirt. That's fantastic.
Dear.
I need a cigarette after this. Oh, fuck. All right.
And scene.
I saw bees.
And scene.
Bees everywhere.
You came seeking us. Why?
We told the purple guy.
I was pretty clear the last time. I possess 3 pieces of Brax's heart. I assumed you'd know the rest of that.
It is highly unlikely that individuals of your caliber have been entrusted with something of this importance.
Come again?
And he holds one of them out.
Immediately, the group goes quiet, and you get a sense that they're talking to each other telepathically, perhaps, Draxus, because of your arcane understandings of things. And a moment later, they look back. We will not question how you came into possession of these. We will provide you with sanctuary whilst we understand the nature of what must be done. You came here seeking knowledge.
Yeah.
What is it that you seek?
2 things. 1, how do I remove the other 2 stones from within people without killing them? The first one didn't go so well. And 2, how do I get into the core?
These are not easy questions. And normally we would not share this information with others. Are the orcs your friends? Says one of the others who's stepped forward.
This orc is, and I point to Dante.
The rest aren't. There is someone else.
And he looks side to side he looks to Venkus and to Gwen.
And he says, there is someone else that was hunting the stones. The one who died with the dragon. Only he may not have died. The orcs might be working for him.
We will not allow them to enter our territory. They will die if they persist.
Do you think the orcs were here just to get those shiny stone things?
Well, the problem with that is the other 2 stones are on the sky whale.
Oh, shit.
Bro, you did not say anything about a dragon rider who has hired orcs to find and kill you.
To be fair, I did say we're on a suicide mission to the core of the planet to save it. And you said, I'm in, bruv.
I thought it was apropos.
No. What about me looks apropos?
I kind of look over at Dante like, oh, I may have misjudged this situation.
Just a little bit.
Too bad your blimp broke, huh?
But hey, at least they have magic honey. We should be okay. Oh, guys! And I point to the 8. He's got the best magic honey. It can cure cancer, make weapons, magic.
Draxus is glaring at Lionel.
I think he said he could make you fly if you drink enough of it. I don't know what it does if you rub it on you. I didn't find out. They really are secretive with their honey. They got the best honey.
I kind of slide the bag behind me just a little bit. My friend, it appears we are all out at the moment.
The leader looks at you. There are many questions that you have asked. There are answers, but some of them are not here. If you truly want to achieve what you have set out to do so, there is a tome that must be recovered first. It is the last writings of an academic that contain many of the answers that you have asked. This will be no easy task, for the location of the tome has been lost for some time. If you are willing to undertake the recovery of this tome, we may be able to assist you further. But you should know there is scant evidence as to the location of this tome.
How long ago was it lost?
That depends on whether you consider it having been stolen from its rightful resting place or when we last lost track of it.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I already have your tome.
You have the Jadra Las?
I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to assume that I have it.
How did you come across such a tome?
And he unsnaps one of the cuffs and rolls up the leathers on his arm. And he holds his arm up and says,
I am the tome.
And Gwen reaches out her hand a little bit and then realizes herself and takes a step back.
That is interesting.
Isn't it, though?
How did you find the shards?
The Brax's heart?
Yeah.
Or the shards of the dome?
The heart.
Well, one of them hit my friend in the chest. And then it was inside of him. And then he got killed by a dragon. And we recovered it. The other two are similarly embedded in the chest of two people, one of which I enjoy the company of.
Again, there's this sort of silent interplay between all of them as they look from one to the other. Our guardian has been defeated by these orcs. They are not the usual kind that we experience. You will retire to another section of the tower whilst we attempt to deal with them.
I mean, we could probably just kill them.
Whilst you might be fated to combine the shards together, Draxis, we would not voluntarily put you in harm's way.
Neither would she.
He motions towards Gwen.
She's just staring at your arm.
Just to be clear, is it just him that you're not worried about?
They look over at you, Lionel.
We happen to be a group of adventurers.
Do you contain the sacred writings of a demigod?
He kind of paused for a second and he thinks like, what is the best answer here? I do not know yet. Oh my god, did it seriously lock up again? I think everything just locked up, guys. I'm sorry, I'm froze.
Oh, you're good.
I added the word yet. I do not know yet, is what he tried to go with. And then everything locked up. Think so.
When you lie to the gods. Yeah.
Even Zoom was like, don't do this. This is a bad idea. You should bail. I do not know yet.
I will look at Draxis and I say, wait, so you're the ancient writings of some book?
I mean, I'm Draxis, but the ancient writings of some book are on my flesh, yes.
What do they detail? How to use that glowy heart thingy?
Can't read it.
Can't read it. Well...
Gwen smiles at that.
The orcs want it, right?
I'm pretty sure the orcs want the gems.
There is a terrific explosion that you all hear coming from outside the tower.
They're going to come. They're going to try to take you if they know what you are, which they don't. And those stones. This seems to be beyond me and beyond Lionel and all of us. This is massive. I have no idea what this power entails. But if the orcs want it, that means it's bad. I will protect you.
Damn it. I mean, great.
I'll protect the stones because you already have her protecting you. So
perfect.
I'll protect the stones.
They're on the sky wheel.
Well, we need to get there then.
It is imperative that the shards are brought here if you wish us to help you remove them.
Can you protect them?
The shards?
Yes.
We have been a bastion of knowledge since the destruction of Ka. No force is capable of penetrating this structure.
Don't underestimate orcs. They can penetrate a lot of things.
At that point, there's a lot of screaming coming from outside. Lots of swearing and orcish. Dante, you're hearing, and anyone who speaks Orcish, by the way, you are hearing, oh, bloody hell, someone's put spiky things on the fucking bridge.
Okay, it's time to go. And I turn and I run forward to the door. We gotta fight them off, guys. They're gonna make it in here. I don't trust these fucking wizards.
Yeah, let's boogie.
I don't trust these fucking wizards.
All right, so Vankus, what are you doing as Lionel and Dante are running towards the main door?
I look to Draxis. What do you want to do? And you're a book now.
No, I've been a book the whole time.
He rubs the crown of his head and says,
I can teleport. I'm sure you can teleport.
And he motions towards the people sitting there.
Do you mind?
And he motions towards where the general vicinity of the Skywell might be.
It'd be a lot faster.
You want to abandon the Tower of Va?
No, we want to go get the other 2 stones, come back, and fight the orcs on our way back in, so that you can take the stones out of the chests of my companions.
We understand. They all start to form a circle and touch hands with one another, and this energy starts to play across them. This will take several minutes.
Oh, shit. Defend the point, guys. Defend the point.
Draxus gets ready to like sit and wait, and then it dawns on him, and he's like,
"Oh, all right."
Is there anything sharp nearby that I could stand in the middle of this circle that they're kumbayaing around me and just like have something to throw at them in case they come in?
Get the spiker-rings.
Spiker-ring. I like that.
You're looking around defense.
Yeah, there are indeed these very ornate-looking candle stands. Is the only way to describe them. They stand about 5.5 foot high, and then where the candles, obviously, there are these large spikes. It almost will function like a trident, as it might stand. There are 6 of them around the room, adding illumination to the room.
She's gonna put out 2 of them and just drag them over into this circle and then have them rejoin. And you just see her pulling the candles out and just like popping the base off and just turning it into a trident and just looks around at everyone and she's like, okay, now we can go. And she just stands in front of Draxus, like pushes like a child, just pushes him right behind her.
All right, that's what's happening to Draxus. Vankus, what are you doing?
So, you know what? There's stuff going on. I am going to shapeshift into a tiger.
All right.
Nice. Meow.
You turn into a tiger, burning bright. And Lionel and Dante, you run
running axe and boomerangs in hand.
All right.
Yeah,
And
I'll take up a position that won't. I'll take up a position. I've got
I won't have the
spells to
boomerang
cast.
out yet. I'm only pulling out my horn.
Okay. The wizards are starting to. Draxus, are you standing in this middle of the circle with and allowing Gwen to position you?
I mean, she shoved me, so I'm just going to stand there.
All right.
Where she shoved me.
There is a banging on the door. The main doors that you walked in, and from without you hear this voice speaking in common. Come out, wherever you are.
I turn back to the party and I say, they have a cave troll. And then I'm going to prepare a spell for when they break open that door.
There is this booming sound on the doors, and the 8 are busy chanting this spell. Draxus, it's a teleportation ritual of some kind that they're casting, but you're quite impressed. It's a fairly complicated one that they are doing. You suspect it's going to take all of you at the same time, probably onto the Skywell, whom you hope is not moving, because you sort of said it's over there, and that's where they're aiming for.
Perfect.
The doors start to bend and buckle under this constant blow of the creature. 1 round passes. Are you doing anything? Standing ready?
Can we see anybody?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
I have the horn in my mouth, and I'm actually beginning to like play the low, like the note of the spell, essentially casting it, allowing it to happen as soon as it opens. But I'm gonna spend the spell slot so I can cast it as soon as they break open.
Gotcha. The second round, the doors now, what happens is they bend and then break in the middle. So there's splintering of this black wood as the doors are being bashed in.
I am preparing. You hear Draxus start muttering something, and the runes that are exposed on his face, and now the one exposed on his hand, start to glow as he's focusing on the door itself, preparing a spell.
All right. Wow, this is a tough door. Fourth round, the door now is broken in half. It now starts being wrenched open, and you can see standing in the middle of this cluster of orcs, there is this very large, very heavy set kind of creature. It doesn't look like a troll. It looks more like an ogre. Nice. And he's got this big sort of spiked collar, and you can see he's got these big brass knuckles in his hands that he's holding that have these rather large spikes on them. As it sort of wrenches the door open, you can all act in this round before they to
I am casting right in the doorway Cloud of Daggers at 3rd level.
Wow,
I just let the horn it just goes out, and then in the center of there, just appearing out of thin air, just spinning daggers that just emanate the entirety of the hallway, because it goes out for like pretty far.
What's red and green and goes really fast?
What?
Orcs in a cloud of daggers.
Wow.
It is, it's a 5-foot cube, 5 foot on each side, so it's 10 feet, a 10-foot cube. Basically.
Right.
Every creature that is currently in it takes 4d4 slashing damage right now. On their next turn, if they move out of it, they won't take it again unless they end their turn in it. So how many am I catching in here?
You are catching 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
All right, and they are each going to take 12 piercing damage, or slashing, I think. Slashing damage.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm like, slaughter cloud.
As these daggers rip into their flesh. Draxus, are you doing anything? You were
yeah, Draxus completes his spell, and you see the ground beneath them, like through the door beneath them, in a 10-foot square, begin to shudder and tear itself apart, and lava just begins to boil up as he casts Phantasmal Force, and everyone caught in that 10-foot sphere must make an intelligence saving throw or believe that the ground just rended and that lava is sprouting forth.
All right. My dice have not been with me. No. Failed. Failed.
It is...
Failed. Really?
15 is the number.
Am I rolling a d20? Failed.
Wow.
Yep. Oh my god! Look at this.
Floor is lava.
So all of them believe that the floor is lava. And the best part is an affected target is so convinced that the phantasm's reality, they take 1d6 psychic damage as part of their turn.
That's awesome.
Any time they are within 5 feet of this area.
Right, roll your psychic damage.
So they all take 6 psychic damage, believing they are in lava. And anytime they start their turn in the pseudo lava, they also take 6 damage.
There is chaos and pandemonium as the orcs are now all trying to move out of this dagger-infested lava pit that they happen to be in, because, you know, that's a thing. And Lionel, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna hold on to some spells. I have some spells to cast, so my trigger will be if I see orcs coming through or not being affected by magic in some way, because I have additional magic to throw at them. But at the moment, it kind of seems like double dipping, and so I'm gonna hold on to some of the magic instead of just blowing through it.
All right, Tiger, Vankus.
What is the scene before me? Like, they're trying to squeeze through the door. There's this cloud of daggers. They think there's lava.
So you can't see the lava necessarily, but the arched doorway, it's a Gothic arched doorway, is 10 foot wide. And so standing in the front is this giant ogre, which had wrenched the doors open. And then 3 orcs sort of crowded next to this ogre. There is now this swirling daggers. It's busy slicing into them. You can see they're sort of just being cut up. The ogre is taking damage. And then they're all standing sort of, it looks like they're standing on hot coals trying to climb up into the air to desperately get away from this pretty standard ground.
So,
yeah.
I want to get a running start and try and parkour off of the ogre's face as a tiger. Parkour, an athletics check or whatever.
Yeah.
We can definitely we can do the thing. All right.
Give me an athletics check, and then you'll see the results of that.
All right. Nice. That is a score we have. All right. That's going to be. Sorry, bear with me. It's a little bit different because I'm a Tigger.
You're a Tigger.
Yeah.
You do what Tiggers do best.
That's it. All right. Oh, it was on a 17 and rolled. A 9. That's not going to be free.
9. Yeah, you kind of start running towards this ogre, but then part of your brain realizes that you'll be leaping into that cloud of spinning daggers. So there's a sort of the mind is willing to jump, but the claws are digging into the ground, kind of going nope. And so there's that wonderful motion that cats do when they're about to jump, and then they realize that they really shouldn't jump.
Right. So yeah. I'm going to take that as I'm still going to do it, but I balk, which puts me at the wrong trajectory.
Correct.
So, oh my God. So an 11 to attack the ogre.
Yeah, you sort of slice at this ogre, and in amongst the daggers and the chaos, and the ogre's busy hopping from foot to foot to try and avoid the fire, because that's a thing. And you swipe at it, but your claws just don't penetrate through its thick hide. You don't feel any purchase. Yeah.
Okay, so I do have the mobility feat, and I'm going to then use that to fall back from the ogre. So he won't be able to attack me with his attack of opportunity because I did attack him. But I will take the 12 points of damage from the daggers.
Yeah. Absolutely. You guys are going to have to just keep track of your hit points here at this moment. Yikes. There's reasons. All right, so we go into the first round of combat. I'm going to get initiative from everybody, if you please. I will have to write it down.
Smokey. Ka-chow. Mother.
I'm totally giving Dante a dirty look, like only a cat can.
4 in total, guy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
21
total. 21 for Draxus.
Initiative, I am a
30-20.
whopping +1 because Bard and I already have a +0. That's a 10.
All right, 10 for Dante, 21 for Vankus and Gwen.
15.
You got a 15, right? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so acting first is, I think, Vankus.
Draxus has got a 21. I got a 20.
Oh, I thought you were 21 as well. My apologies. I miswrote it. All right, so Draxus, what are you doing?
How far away are these orcs?
They're about 40 feet away from you guys. But they're going to be very shortly closer because they are trying to run through these daggers.
And the giant ogre is in the front?
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to get blasted with an Eldritch Blast.
All right, make your attack.
See, I forgot how to use this. Hold on. Attack. 18 to hit.
18's a hit. Your blast slams into him. He
6
grunts.
damage.
6 damage into the ogre?
All right. Yes.
All right.
Nice.
It sort of stumbles back a little bit, shakes its head, and then still tries not to stand on the ground. Vankus?
Oh, all right. I am going to. Well, that didn't work with the ogre so well last time, so I'm going to go at one of these orcs and take a running leap. Oh!
Maybe it's the wall of daggers. Maybe it's four paws. You're not sure what it is. That's a wild miss, complete miss.
Totally misses and just hanging out amongst the orcs, growling.
You caress him gently.
Yes, you.
You know what? I will bonus action and drop a 2nd level spell and get some hit points back.
Probably a good idea. All right, 9 hit points back. Very nice.
Don't worry, David. 3 of us have healing word. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no one is going to die. Gwen, you're up next.
2 of you.
Man, I didn't have to do any attacking last time, and now I have a trident, and I don't know what to do with it.
Hit someone.
Oh my God. You can throw it. You can run
I'm going to throw it at the closest person thing. Just murder. Murder
you mean
spree.
enemy. Closest enemy.
No, yeah.
All right. Make
I
your
don't have a weapon for that. Just roll a d20.
Yeah, and add your dexterity modifier.
Or strength for you, I think.
Or strength.
Yeah, strength is 1. So 15.
Plus proficiency, so 17.
17.
17. Were you throwing it at the ogre or one of the orcs?
One of the orcs.
All right. It hits. Do your damage. Thrown trident will say is, I think it's 1d6 or is it 1d8 for a trident? Anyone know offhand?
I think it's
It's a
1.
D6. For some reason, they hate tridents.
Yeah, I think it's a d6 as well. That's why I was a bit confused. All right, 1 damage. Trident just nicks the orc plus the strength.
Plus, I get my extra attack, right? As a paladin.
Yeah, you're a level 5 paladin. You got an extra attack.
You're a paladin?
You're going to throw another one?
That's how I felt when I read my character sheet today. I was like, oh yeah, shit, I died. And I was real sad for a good 5 minutes.
I didn't know.
That's 11.
Yeah, so you throw the one trident candlestick and just graze an orc. The second one you throw, it doesn't go anywhere. It gets deflected by the daggers and clatters to the floor rather harmlessly. The orcs now act. So just with that cloud of daggers, if they move out of it, they're okay.
Yeah, so they already took the damage. If they don't end their turn in it, it's fine.
All right, they're charging forward. With the lava, talk to me about the lava. If they start their turn in the lava, they take the damage again?
Let me double check here for you.
Just because I'm just making sure that we're absolutely on the money here.
I have a question, Guy.
Yes.
I don't want to cheese this too much, but I kind of feel like everybody else got to go, and I was kind of waiting for them to come forward. Is there a chance that I would be able to use my hold action if they come pouring forth instead, and then still go this turn like regular? Or just go in front of them? I'd be happy with that too.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Because you were holding for them to charge through. I don't know why I probably missed you. So yes, you will be able to do that as well. All right, before they leave the space.
So technically, it's on my turn. They take the damage, so it would be 4.
4. All right.
Yep.
Aha! Those orcs didn't expect the good old cloud of dagger lava floor trick.
Yeah. Who knew?
And actually,
Where if you stay in the daggers, you take damage, but you gotta run through lava.
I think that the hold action is not going to last through a round. So it's kind of, I mean, it's your call. If you want to just use my action like for the whole round this turn and then fall back in normal initiative order, or just not give it to me, either one of those.
I'm happy to bump you up in the initiative order because of you were waiting for it. So I'm happy to do that. So before they start moving out, you can do what you want.
I would kind of wait for them to come completely out of the cloud of daggers, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, they're out now. Cast.
I see.
I see. What I'd like
All
to
right.
do.
Well,
so I'd like to catch them in that kind of radius, like right in front of it before they've really moved very far.
Sure.
3 or 4 of them. If I think I can catch 3 or 4 of them in a in like a 20-30 foot AOE, that's what I'd like to do.
Oh, absolutely. You can catch 4 of them because they now will start charging forward. So it's 1 giant ogre and then 3 orcs that are going to move out of that threatened space.
Yeah. So I want to cast Hypnotic Pattern. It's 30-foot cube. And it appears for a moment and then vanishes, so it just flashes.
Sure.
It's a big shiny disco honeycomb. And each creature in the area who sees a pattern makes a wisdom saving throw. My DC is 15, sir.
There's a great start. The ogre stops dead.
Awesome.
Orc next to it stops dead. No, wait. It does. No, wrong thing. It stops dead.
Okay. Sweet.
Stops dead.
Sweet.
Does not stop.
Yay, 1.
And the last one stops dead. Okay, so one, they all charge. Roar! And then suddenly one of them realizes he is the only one.
This is going to last for a minute. And while charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of
what spell is this?
0. Hypnotic pattern, man.
Learn
your bard spell, son. I'm kidding. The spell ends for an effective creature if it takes any damage, or if someone uses an action, so they'll forego their entire attack to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Gotcha.
That's my next so learn your bard spells, man.
That's not. I thought you were saying shake him out of a stupor. I was like,
nope, that's my life.
One of them continues to charge forward, screaming wildly because of the distance he has to cover. He just to double check. Yep, he did not notice that there was a giant tiger next to him, so he just continues to run towards the group. His main focus was just getting out of the lava dagger situation because that was very unnerving. That was not supposed to happen. So he has rushed forward. The rest of his companions, however, are just completely zoned out.
So the orcs can't stand the heat. You want to get out of the lava daggers.
Well, you got to get out of the lava daggers, right? So the orcs behind, however, how long does that dagger wall last for?
Concentration. So as
long as you can concentrate,
I can concentrate on it for quite a while.
I think it's a
minute.
All right.
So, guy, did that orc run past me?
Yes, he did. So you'll get an attack of opportunity. That's quite correct. All right. So the rest of the orcs don't want to move through the dagger wall because it just looked weird. Yeah, you're just swiping everywhere as this one orc charges through. What confused you was that 5 of them charged forward, 4 of them suddenly stopped dead, and 1 carried on running. And you're like, what? As this confusion happened. All right, so that's the sort of the chaotic. The poor orcs, they did not anticipate this. As this thing goes down. From there we go to Dante. What are you doing?
Double bards. All right, so what I'm doing is I run forward, jump into the air, drop the cloud of daggers so it's gone. With my axe, go flying into the ground into the middle of all the ogres. And as soon as the orcs, until I tink, hit the ground and miss, and they're all like, what the hell? And then I thunder wave at 3rd level. So I need them to make Constitution.
The ones that I just locked in place? Or
yeah.
a different group?
I'm just jumping in and cast a thunder wave, man.
Go for it, Dante!
They need to make Constitution saving throws.
But if I got it on,
you guys are
all right, so this is going to hit
power slides in.
Incapacitated.
This is the 18.
So the ogre fails. So it's going to take damage.
All right.
Incapacitated orc number 1, natural 20. Wow.
Nice.
Orc number 2.
Nice.
Another natural 20. See, the game is now making up for me failing everything else so far. And then the 3rd orc fails. So the ogre and the orc fails.
All right. They are 12 damage or 6 if they succeeded. And the ones who failed are pushed 10 feet away. And there's a thunderous boom up to 300 feet.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm back into the cloud of daggers.
Yes. No, except the cloud fell when he did it. But yes, it would have been grand if that had happened. All right. So there's this terrific boom that resounds around this tower. The ogre and one of the orcs are sort of pushed back into the ogres the orcs that are standing behind on the bridge itself. They are, now that the daggers have fallen, they're going to start running forward this round as well. Back to the top of the round, Draxus, what are you doing?
I'm not being prepared as a free action. How close? Oh, they haven't started running yet.
There is one orc who is going to engage this round and will most likely try to hit either Lionel or Gwen or yourself, because Dante jumped past him to attack the other orcs.
Okay, is he in melee with us, or is he still running towards melee with us?
He will be in melee on the start of his round. He will run into melee.
Okay, so in that case, he is going to Eldritch Blast him.
All right, make your attack.
Ka-chow. 17.
17 is a hit. Do damage.
6 points of damage.
All right, you slam into him. It doesn't stop him from running forward because he's in this battle frenzy. But he certainly takes the blast directly to his chest. You going to do anything else?
That's it for him.
Standing your ground. All right, Vankus.
All right, Vankus is going to run and leap at the ogre.
All right, they're no longer incapacitated. Okay,
yeah, that's fine. In theory, anyway, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm getting you. Saber dice 4. I'm in his face, just growling and roaring.
Yeah.
Jerk.
All right, is that all you're doing?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, Gwen.
Gwen is going to this one that's running up to towards Draxus. She does take a step towards it just to be even a little bit closer between it and Draxus. And she's going to cast Nature's Wrath. And creature within 10 feet that I can see.
Yep.
Either dexterity or strength saving throw.
It gets to choose?
Yeah.
All right, it's going for a strength saving throw, and it gets a 19.
Well, shit. Nothing happens. She just... Stupid tiefling hands.
Stupid tiefling hands. Interesting. Lionel?
Lionel is did not have to go to the restroom and definitely knows where all the combatants are. I'm assuming Dante exploded all of my hypnotic patterns. Great.
Yeah, I exploded all over these orcs.
I think they just automatically undo that. Okay, great. I'm going to pick. I'm going to shatter because that seems like a good option. 10-foot radius, however many I can hit.
Into the cluster of orcs that have been daggered, lavaed, and thundered.
Yeah, and now shattered.
Now you're going to shatter them?
That's what bards do.
It's the good old dagger, lava, thunder shatter.
Who needs fireball?
It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 combo. All right. So you are shattering their...
Do I feel like they've taken a lot of damage?
Yes.
Like a lot of damage?
Well, apart from the ogre, the 3 orcs that have had serious psychological trauma, they are bleeding heavily.
Okay, then I'm not going to cast Shatter. I'm going to cast Sleep. It's an AoE.
Right.
And it just does hit points worth of damage. I'm going to cast it as a 2nd level slot. So I'm going to throw this for a total of 78. So 78 starting with the lowest hit point person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hit points worth of creatures just asleep.
38 hit points down. All right.
It starts with the guy with the lowest HP and then goes up from there.
Yeah.
It's a CODY popsicle because he's frozen.
We got called out last time on that.
Yeah, I saw a comment about it. It was like, you couldn't have slept Vankus. It's an AoE. And I was like, it was a huge sky whale. Like, I assumed that I would just put, like, right on the cusp.
Yeah, the whale falls asleep and everyone dies.
Oh, God.
Shit.
If Vankus has more hit points than the whale, then we were, that would...
Yes.
God, that would be a terrible way to die. To accidentally...
That really would.
Whale.
All right, so...
I kind of want to see...
The 3 orcs that have been sliced, diced, burnt, and blasted now all just drop to the ground asleep. The ogre does not. It stands there watching its 3 companions dropping down.
Hey, bruv! You're so ugly! And I'm going to kind of just try to... I don't want it to think about waking anybody up because I kind of understand how the magic works. So I want him to kind of like just not pay attention to them. That's all I'm doing.
Nice.
The ogre looks from you lot, sort of getting ready with magic. There's a tiger over here, but the tiger's really just been hissing at them with its fur up on its shoulders. Anyway, it suddenly turns and it bellows, "Retreat!" And they just start running back as fast as they can. The orc that's running up and is about to slam into you, Gwen, hears this retreat call and does this about face, which is pretty impressive considering the velocity it was traveling at to try and get to you. You do get an attack of opportunity against it. And Vankus, you get an attack of opportunity against the ogre as well.
She wants to stick her foot out at about waist height while this thing is running at her, and just stand her ground and keep her foot outstretched.
All right, make an attack to see if you can. Basically, you're kind of impaling. Yeah. So it sees your foot. It's busy turning. The tiger hits. Do your damage. And basically, he sort of pushes off of your foot and runs in the opposite direction as fast as he can. The ogre getting slashed with these tiger claws. What you do get is a nice sense of satisfaction. You got a nice meaty chunk of ogre in your paw there. Vankus. They all turn and start running back over the bridge. By all turn, I mean there are now 3 orcs plus the ogre that are running across this bridge. They run for about, they run for about 3 or 4 seconds and immediately start screaming as you can see little caltrops sort of flying up in the air as they're running through the caltrop bed. They are not happy.
Have they made it across the bridge yet, Guy?
They are still running across the bridge. It is a 40-foot span plus the distance that they were in the room, so they are still running across that bridge span. They can't move at full speed because it's difficult terrain. We're out of initiative. You guys can act as you so choose.
Do you have an
I
idea?
turn and I go, yeah, good old thunder sleep combo.
I have an idea. Thunder sleep.
There are still 3 sleeping on the floor around you, just so that you guys don't forget about them.
We would like to coup de grace them here in a moment. Mike, can we... Are you about to do something?
Yeah.
I also have a thing. What I will.
My thing's outside.
My thing is also outside.
I think you're both doing your
Don't
things.
clip that.
I think we both do it at the same time. We both. So here's what we'll explain what it is, and they both act at the same time.
Okay.
Gotcha. I like it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna run out and shatter them because it's really loud, and it is like an incredible booming. Now knowing that we no longer have to worry about the things eating us, because we're gonna be teleported around, I'm gonna attract a fuck ton of noise before they can retreat to their boats, so that they get eaten and shat into gems.
I regret saying we go at the same time. So as he begins to run, as he begins to run, Draxus kind of looks over and they're both running at the same time. And like as they crest the door, and I assume Lionel is like starting to mumble words, Draxus disappears and appears 30 feet later on the other side of the bridge. And as he does, he unleashes one of his bags and throws ball bearings across the entirety of the bridge.
Yes!
The ball bearings sail out towards the orcs. The orcs kind of see these ball bearings. Your shatter spell goes off. Yeah. What is the effect specifically of shatter?
I mean, I can read it to
It
you.
destroys objects.
Yeah.
I know it destroys objects. I'm just trying to figure out how it destroys objects.
It
A
does damage.
sudden, loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw. Creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage on this throw. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area.
Are you gonna shatter all the goddamn ball bearings?
No, I was trying to shatter like out in between them and the boat or the ship. So because that's where I want to attract the noise to before.
You mean where Draxus
I'm
is?
trying to cut them off with big scary rock monsters. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right.
But I only
So
have
you
60-foot range on it.
Well, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
doing it on the other side of them.
So you're throwing it on the other side of the orcs, basically where Draxus appeared.
I would throw it as far as I can, and it's only a 10-foot radius. So if Mike's misstep is 30 feet, then it would be theoretically beyond him.
All right. And then you're throwing out ball bearings. All right. So they will run into it because it's this radius, right? and it sort of discharges, and there's this terrific explosion that goes out. The ball bearings are sailing through the air as well, but because it's happening simultaneously, the ball bearings then also shatter into thousands of little shards of slivers of metal, which then just puncture and perforate the orcs in this cloud of metal shaving, basically. And that terrific boom, you can do your damage.
You're gonna let me? I mean, are you gonna make a save?
I did. They failed horribly. 2 of them failed, 2 of them passed.
I will be honest with you. My intent was not to cast it directly on them, but it depends on how far of a gap they had in front of me. So.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the damage. 19.
Nice.
But it's only in a 10-foot radius, so it's a very tiny little cluster.
Yeah, I got you.
And then I want to run back inside because I think rock monsters are coming.
Draxus, you appear. There's this terrific explosion. The orcs kind of get covered in your ball-bearing dust. They continue running across the bridge. What are you doing?
So if they continue running through the caltrops, through the ball bearings, falling off the bridge, getting exploded, as they run past Draxus, he just casually walks back inside. He just lets them run past him as he walks in.
And they do. That's the saddest part for these poor orcs anyway, is they don't engage you. They just run screaming past you. This is the worst idea they have ever had. They just continue running past you. The 3 of you that are still inside the chamber, what are you guys doing? Because
I'm tying up the asleep orcs.
One of the orcs will be difficult to tie up because I kind of like push its weapon away with a paw, and then I just lay on it. Lay on its chest.
Tiger.
I go, good kitty, and then I go and I tie up the other orcs. And I'll take their weapons off of them and put them away. And then I'm going to throw one over my shoulder and start walking down the hallway as soon as they kind of come in. And I say, hey, I'm going to interrogate this guy.
That's what you're saying. Draxus, you walk back in again. Gwen, are you doing anything?
Gwen would have been following an inch behind him the whole time.
Right.
He doesn't let her
except for the
little one far away.
Correct. All right. So you're trying to
get. If he can teleport, she's just standing outside waiting.
Like an NPC that doesn't know what to do. They start running around the entirety of the building.
She's internally panicking, but you guys just see her standing there, not moving or blinking.
All right. As you sort of cluster back together around Dante holding a sleeping orc, Vankus is lying on top of this sleeping orc who seems to be quite happy now because there's quite a nice warm kitty lying on top of him and it's soft and furry and fluffy. The spell of the 8 casters discharges, and for a moment you're sort of walking forward, and the next minute you get this stretched kind of feeling as if everything is just being pulled and pushed in different directions. There's a crackling sensation, and the next minute you open up your eyes and it looks as if you are in a very large stone room with a very heavy metal door on the one side and nothing else. And we'll be back next week when the Kharos Stones continues.
Oh my God.
You big
metal door!
I'm like, I'm gonna interrogate this orc. Shit, I forgot we were teleporting.
He is still there with you. Absolutely. Yes. That they didn't have any control over that.
Right. So crazy. That plot twist with Draxus, that he was the book, that was awesome. That was so cool. I did not expect that.
That's been planned since like the beginning of the game. I was wondering when the hell it was coming out. I'm super glad it came out right then.
I feel like you're just mocking my illiterateness by actually being a book.
Guy, Cody and I have had your background this like whole time on this stream.
I did not even notice that. I did not.
Cody got it first. Punch the fucking shit.
I'm so glad I'm a paladin. Oh boy, he broke it. It's gone.
They can sure handle their wood.
I think you're muted, man.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
no. Oh,
I'm
no,
muted.
really?
I'm muted for the whole thing. Are
Well,
you kidding me?
Cody, from the top, but with feeling.
What happened? I quit life.
Guys, Elderwood Academy is great.
Cody
Painting
Wood,
Grounds.
Cody Wood,
That's what Cody was saying the whole time.
So is Dungeon Painter Studio. I remembered all three of them. They're great.
We love Elderwood Academy.
We love how Elderwood Academy handles their wood. We love how Fantasy Grounds handles their fantasies in grounds. And we love how Dungeon Painter Studio allows you to paint dungeons in the studio. Have a great day, guys. We're Saber Dice.
I have nothing else to add. Thanks for watching. We'll be back
Go check out
next
the
week.
Patreon.
Hey, yeah, seriously. Thank you to all the amazing donators tonight. That was insane. Like,
Thanks for penetrating our chat.
That was insane. So thank you for penetrating us. We will be we'll be back. Guys, I will see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
We have more After Dark to record.
Shenanigans.
Don't forget to bring your jugs.
The end.
The end.
Stay nerdy.
God damn it.